Please join us in welcoming best-selling recording artist and Grammy Award winner Lionel Richie for a conversation with Gracious Home CEO Dottie Madison.
Hi. Thank you. Good job. Good job.
Good to see you.
Come on.
Good to see you.
Okay.
All right.
So we're backstage. And
How did we get to be first?
I don't know. I know that your international phenomenon singing, songwriting career doesn't usually take place at 8 a.m. How far? Okay, so are you going to sit that far away from me? Okay. It's like kind of weird. So we're backstage, and Lionel says, "Is it always this quiet?"
It was so quiet backstage, and I kept saying, "Are the people here yet?"
Yeah.
And this is okay, so
Yeah,
I feel all right, and I can see them. I know where
This
we
is
are.
not 8:30 p.m. on your
Good
honeymoon.
morning, everybody. This is kind of early here.
Good morning.
Jesus. Gee.
How happy are we to be at Shop Talk? We are at the inaugural Shop Talk.
And we're the first act to go on.
Yes.
That's pressure.
First and best, I might say, but no competitive nature here. Okay, so we are here to talk about Lionel Richie's newest venture, which is your home collection. Now, as I understand it,
Yes.
you strategically have designed a line that is formal wear, casual wear, and for the hospitality industry. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
That is absolutely correct. And the interesting part about it is that creativity is creativity. People ask me all the time, how did you get into the home line business? And I kept thinking, well, I design in my house. Every day I design. And someone talked me into, well, who did this particular display over here? And I said, I did. And they said, well, why don't you put this out further? And then I realized that how many times have people been married on my song, and I just took you halfway. I endless love worked, and then I let you go. When there's a registry that's happening where there's, well, what plates, what tableware did you sell during the registry? And I said, wait a minute, I have not done that before. Let's go all the way with this. So then I thought there's the home line, which covers that. And then there's the loft line, which is going to be the fun stuff. Now, the fans have done this for me because it came out of just my fans sending crazy things. Hello, is it brie you're looking for?
A cheese plate.
Hello, is it tea you're looking for? Hello, is it me you're cooking for?
Right.
And the easy cups and the endless love cups, and oh my God.
Hysterical.
So I decided we'll make that the fun stuff. And of course, the Pro, LR Pro, will be hotels, spas, and restaurants. And of course, what I have found is that entertaining is the #1 pastime. Either you go out or you do it at home.
Yeah.
And I'm in the entertainment business as far as when you come to my show, it's that first impression. And you want to have a first impression and a lasting impression. And I think that probably for me, it's so much fun designing because I don't have to sing. I just go and say, here's the glass.
But you know, when we first saw the line months ago, I think what's so great about it, and everyone will make their own impressions, hopefully immediately when you buy all of it from Gracious Home, which it's going to be in this week, actually. But when we first saw it, we were so impressed with how accessible it is.
Yeah.
And it really, in that way, reminded me of the vibe at your house, because it's a very, beautiful, wonderful piece of property, but it's also a family home.
Yeah, the whole concept is that it must be comfortable. A lot of times you'll buy stuff. I've been in places where I was a little afraid to ask, do we eat on this or do we just look at it? And then I realized it has to be something that you want to show off, but at the same time, you can put your feet up. When I say that, not on my plates, thank you very much, but in furniture or in anything else, it has to be where you feel like, especially in my case, I have kids, teenagers, and grandkids. And if you want anything to be torn up or tested in 5 minutes, just leave them with my kids. I'll show you exactly what happens. But it has to be something where it fits the house.
Yes.
And whether it's formal, what I call formal, mid-range, or just the kids coming over for the love collection, for example. We have the plates that are just absolutely simple.
Adorable.
You just want to throw stuff on the plate. Here's for the kids, and it has the love plates. It's very simple.
It's so cute. But you know, when we first started talking about the home collection, and I think that having been at the top of your game for so many years, you must have gotten approached with a zillion deals, offers, ventures, et cetera. And what really struck me about this is that not only that you're doing it, which meant that it was going to be done well and it was going to be awesome, but really how inspired you were by it and how committed you were, how hands-on you were to it. Because I don't know if people realize that you know, there's a way to do it where you're not that hands-on, and then there's a way to do it where you're very hands-on, and that was my observation.
Yeah, well, my whole career has been based on the words, "Are you crazy?" And when I say that, I mean when I financed my entire Dancing on the Ceiling video or my All Night Long video, and they kept saying, "Why don't you just let the record company do it?" I said, well, because I want to own it. If my name's going to be on it, then I want to have quality control. And so instead of just putting a rubber stamp on an endorsement deal, which is the easiest thing to do, I thought, let me just wait for a moment and see the right moment to where I can actually control the creative side of it. And that's what's so beautiful about this. That's exactly what I'm thinking, not kind of what I'm thinking. When you see the plates and when you see the silverware, when you see all of the stuff in the loft, in the barware, it's everything that I've experienced around the world, because, you know, half of my business is where are we going after the show? And so when you have that kind of expression, I get to stand there in a room and going, oh. Now, I'm the only guy that will walk in a room while the party's going on going, who's this by? And where'd that come from? And of course, they think I'm out of my mind, but really, I am curious to know the quality has got to be there as well as the presentation. And so, you know, I just had to put my name on it. If I'm going to put my name on it, it's got to be right.
And you have to have the right partners too. I mean,
got
you
the
know,
right,
you really do have a great team that you work with, and I think that there, you know, you can't do anything by yourself in this world.
No.
Nothing that's worth anything, right?
No. Impulse is doing a great job as far as.
Yeah, and everyone is so passionate about it. So, I want to know how you're spending your summer from a home collection standpoint. You're doing a lot of your day job, you're traveling around, but tell me about the research you're maybe going to get to do while you're in Europe. Well,
that's exactly what you just named it. I travel around the world maybe twice a year, and I know that sounds like a huge undertaking, but we actually fly to all parts of the world every other day, basically. So what happens is that I'm in everything from palaces to you name it, the highest of the highs, the lowest of the lows, and everything in between. And believe it or not, simplicity is the hardest thing to get. I tell people the same thing that applies to my designs of my homeware is the same thing that applies to songwriting. It's very easy to write a song with a lot of notes in it. It's very hard to write a song that has easy, hello, truly, and you know exactly what it is from the beginning. Well, I go around the world and I try to make design, and by the way, it's everywhere. I mean, especially in Europe, it's the best place in the world, but it's shapes and forms that you've looked and been around forever. We just have to make them a part of the collection. So you don't feel like it's a foreign kind of experience. It's something that you've seen every day.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I like about it. The simplicity of it is something that fits in your home where you would just go, okay, well, that's been here all the time, right? No, that shape has been around for a very long time.
Right.
And
I'm excited about the next wave too, where now that you've launched the collection, when you look at the world with fresh eyes and think about what's next, like iterating, layering on, and then also innovating. You know, there are other occasions and other categories that I know you love, like gardening or other things that we were just talking about it last night. That there's plenty to be had there in the home too.
Yeah, Nicole Richie, my daughter, who has spent most of her life trying to kill her father, but she has exposed me to my other passion, which is of course gardening. And every time there's a show, she always has me with a pair of clippers, and I go, you didn't bring the camera by now, did you? But between outside garden wear, garden stuff, poolside, spa pool furniture. I just like the whole concept of outside entertainment.
Absolutely.
Indoor, outdoor entertainment. And if you go to Europe, this is the most beautiful thing in the world to see. You just carry the presentation right out to the pool, right out to the garden. And between the garden, the pool, the home, you pretty much got me down.
And you're totally covered.
Yeah, I've got it, yeah.
And you're when you come back to the States in later this fall, there'll be more product that's going to be flowing through. And you know, I'm being serious about this, the whole way that fall entertaining works with all the holidays and Thanksgiving, you're really, I'm excited for you to have the experience of seeing what your customers like. It is really an awesome experience to know what you did that people liked and also to learn from the stupid stuff that you unfortunately did.
It is more terrifying, and let me just say this, Dottie, it is more terrifying in life to finish an idea, present an idea, and there's no way possible I can bring the band in to cover it in case it's wrong.
Exactly.
So this is the first time I'm committed to this. In my world, in case the joke doesn't go straight or in case something happens, we go to the next song. But in this case, the greatest thing I found, so satisfying, it's when someone says, oh my God, I like that design, or that's exactly what I need. Can I get a vase like that, or can we get, it makes everything, right now I'm so inspired because when someone says you have a hit record, it makes you write 3 more. Mm-hmm. And so when someone says, oh my God, the success of my first time trying this was just amazing. And so now, to go back on tour now, and what do I do in my pastime anyway? I'm normally sitting in a hotel room or sitting on a plane somewhere. It's now in design mode. Mm-hmm. And so it's that other time that I had off is now devoted to designing. So I'm excited about the second and third wave coming because
it's gonna be awesome.
We've got loft and we've got
and serving customers and making customers happy is really it's fantastic. You know, everyone in this room has different ways that they're developing their business, you know, so they too can relate, you know, when the horse is out the barn, as it were,
yeah.
you know, there's nothing much you can do about it.
No.
And then it's totally done. So when you think about the...
You're so awake right now, Dottie. You're making me very nervous. Are all of you awake? This is like very
This is like Zen Buddhism. Anyone who knows me, this is me calm.
This is a very strange time. I've never seen the world at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
This is what happens.
We operate. I know. That's what I said to you. I said you've never been, you know, out and about at 8 a.m.,
I mean,
right?
no one's singing, no one's screaming, no one's rushing the stage. I don't understand this.
I think, you know, they're polite and plus slightly hungover, it would appear. You know, they've been in Vegas all night. What I was going to say
Yes, I'm sorry.
is that when you think about urban America, suburban America, and different lifestyles in America, what do you think about the trend toward the smart home? Like, what do you think about how important technology is going to be in a house? Like, tell me, because I know the way you live has an element of it as well.
Yeah, it's going to be the future. It is the future. In fact, if anyone thinks for a moment, and I use myself as the perfect, if you will, guinea pig for this, because if the technology can get me to feel excited about it,
right,
then I'm really excited. Then the rest of the world's going to do it because I'm Mr. Thumbs and Bumbles when it comes to that. But I love the idea that technology in the home is making it a smart home because everything is going to be from your phone. Everything is going to be from your communications with your kids, your house, your spouse, your family, everything. It's going to be amazing. And I think that right now for me in the tech world, that's what's happening next, is that so much of my conversation now is with the second half of this. That's why I called it Lionel Richie Design, is because it's going to happen to include that.
Yeah.
You have to. Because the smart home is going to be where you can turn things on and off, and you can order things, you can present things, And you don't have to be at your house
No.
all day long, but yet be fully in control of your home.
Yeah, and I think that the opportunity for getting product and services in and out of the house in an effective way, when you're really designing solutions, which is what you designed around, you didn't design product,
Right.
you designed a solution for a
Right.
Thanksgiving table. I think that there's gonna, I'm sure that you'll be inspired in a whole other way
Well-
to think about how smart your objects could be,
Yeah.
how smart the home could be, and what other services we could provide too.
You'll be surprised to know, just in the hotel room, for example, how many times I've been in a hotel room and I said, why don't they have this
Right.
or that? Or, so you're sitting there going, okay, and this should be there. And I can actually design it now and present it, and because it's not complete. I want to make every hotel room, every spa, a place where you feel like you're at home. That's what I want to do. The first thing I do when I walk into a hotel room, I'm sure you all do the same thing, is you try to make the room as close to your room as
Comfortable.
possible.
Right.
And you know, you shouldn't have to work that hard. And the more we can make that room feel homey,
The better.
the better.
So while we have a few minutes left, and of course the home collection will be hugely successful at Gracious Home, thank you very much, and et cetera, et cetera. While we have a few more minutes, because think about, one of the things that I appreciate about my relationship with you over the last several years, and by the way, I think Kenny Hertz is here, who introduced us years
Kenny
ago.
Hertz is here?
Allegedly, I don't know if he's
Wow,
in the
this
room.
is a, thank you,
so,
Kenny.
So one of the things that I appreciate about you is your mentorship and your brotherly affection for me. And one of the things that you've taught me is about risk taking. So while we have these brightest minds who are here at this first shop talk, which is hugely successful out of the gate, you should give yourselves a hand. Talk to us.
This is unbelievable.
It's amazing, amazing.
unbelievable. This is
It's wonderful. Talk to us about risk taking.
Very good. Change is an amazing thing. I have spent most of my life celebrating songs that everyone told me would ruin my career.
Literally.
Everyone. When I say this, every time, I knew I was going in the right direction when someone told me that would ruin your career. I was supposed to be an R&B band. And so I walked in the door one day and I said, here's Easy Like Sunday Morning. They said, that's not R&B. Wow, but it's soul. I have a choice. Do I take my clothes off or do I give you something risque as music? Music is better.
Right.
Then came 3 Times a Lady, a waltz in the middle of disco.
#1 selling country song of all time.
Around
for your
the
good
world.
friend, Kenny
And then, of
Rogers.
course, from there, I was off to the races. Here comes Stuck on You and Sail On. And, of course, that's a country song. It doesn't fit my genre at all. And the more I found that I'm out of the box, the more successful I became. Now, the problem is you have to be able to survive one very important thing. This phrase, if I were you, and your answer is, you're not. And if you're waiting for someone else to tell you that you're brilliant, you will never be brilliant. What you have to do is step outside of the opinions, if you will, and go for something, really the person you have to motivate every day is yourself. And the reason I'm here is because I have spent many a night going, you think I'm right? Do you think I'm right, God? And of course, the next morning, the answer is, I was definitely going in the right direction. So, you know, forget about what the trend is, forget about what the category is, forget about what the world is doing. You know, if everyone says, in my business, we use that phrase, if they say black tie, wear a red suit, they know you're there. And that's the way to do it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, challenge yourself. And when you feel a bit nervous about what you're doing, you're going in the right direction.
And on that note, enjoy the rest of Shop Talk.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Lionel and Dottie.